So before I sign off for the day, sorry, I'm looking at the clock going, really? Is it already that late? It's 11ish. It's 11ish in the morning on Wednesday, the day before I leave. 10, 11, 12. I think today's the 12th. You would think with all the, yep, Wednesday the 12th. I say with all the things that have me that tell me the day, like my phone and my watch and everything, that I would remember, but I didn't remember. I'm going to do not a beginning of the year, because it's not the beginning of the year anymore. This is the spring works in project. Yeah, which are unfortunately more than I would like to have. I have a lot of unfinished project, cross stitch and otherwise, to the point where I'm starting to feel, I have been actually feeling for quite a while, that they're just overwhelming and some of them probably need to be ditched. But yeah, anyway, this is just kind of an accountability thing for me, and we'll see how many of these things I can polish off this year. It would probably be easier if I'd quit starting new things, because right now I'm really into this stitching little tininess, like I showed you before. Oh, which this I did not stitch, but you know, I really like stitching little things because they're quick and I feel good when I get done, and then they get to go on my cute little tiered tray, and it makes me so super happy. And so anyway, this is my WIP projects that are currently lingering, my new word, lingering in my little basket where I keep all my project bags. So yeah, let's just get started. I think when I counted the other day, there's 24, and I think I might have 24 sewing projects, but one's a wool I have lots of wool projects, let's not even get into that, but one I actually counted as a project for this, and the other one is embroider, and I showed a couple of these on my last video, which these might be back to back being put up, just because once I get them edited, I just have to put them up. Anyway, so should we start with, let's start with this one because I can get out of the way. This is one of my projects. It is the Samsara perpetual calendar, which I love. I loved it when I saw it on Brenda Handwork Maniac's channel. You know, the colors are going to vary just because I use different colors, you know, whatever colors I have available. I got my March tag done a while back, and then I noticed that I forgot to put the little tail part going through the bows, which I don't even know that you can see. Maybe your brain will just put it in there, but anyway, I have to figure out how to wiggle a string through there because I already glued everything down. So anyway, it's a fun thing. If you can find these patterns. I don't think finding the patterns so hard, it's the finding the tags nowadays. There's February, that was the one I did a while back. July, I don't have all of them done, obviously, which is why it's an ongoing project. August, October, I think I have January. January, yeah. So, yep, January, August, July, February, March. So yeah, those are the fun little tags. I like these ones too. These are for like different days of the month. This is for voting day, which we don't get to use very often. Yeah, apparently I stitched the two weird ones, voting day and Groundhog Day. Anyway, and this was just something that I like pulled from a different pattern and made up as a tag. I don't even think there is such a thing. Anyway, so that I need to do. And it's been in craft prison just because I can't figure out how to put the tag on the tail. I might just literally run a thread through there and glue it down. But that is project number one. And then you saw some, like I said, you're going to see some of these twice because I just did these if you watched my other video. Oh, sorry, Shauna Marie stitches, because I figured I already covered that. Oh, and I have a very squeaky chair. Shauna Marie stitches, I'm talking about my cross stitch projects today. I'm starting with my most unfavorite ones apparently, because they're sitting right here from just a couple minutes ago. This is, and it's not that there's anything wrong with the patterns, it's just that I have decided that something about it is something I don't like and need to change, but my brain has not decided what that thing is. So anyway, this one is in Craft Prison at the moment and not being worked on. The Linnet Song by Modern Folk Embroidery. It's a gorgeous pattern. Just trying to make sure that it focuses there. I started it on a piece of pink that I had dyed. It is 40 count linen. It's going to be wrinkly because it's been, actually it's been just living in a pile in my bag, in like a box over here. And I chose 2 shades of pink on pink because I apparently have lost my mind. And everything's pink right now. Anyway, I'm debating introducing a 3rd color of, which would be a green, to do that. The leaves, maybe the, I haven't decided about the base. Do the, some of the letters here and then green here. So that's why that's been in Craft Prison. It's because I can't decide what I want to do with it. The other one that's in Craft Prison with my calendar, Jane Austen's in one of these bags. She's in Craft Prison too, but again, for color issues. Was this from River Drift House, a lovely sampler pattern. Like, I love the pattern, and I thought that I thought that I would step outside my comfort zone and do colors that were not like typical Thanksgiving-y colors, because it's got a lot of bluey, plummy, purpley, gray colors. Here's what I've got done on it. I did it on 18 count fog. I don't know which way is better, but see how the colors are very, this one's showing up pretty true. This one is a very like dark periwinkle. This is plum. This is a blue gray. Anyway, I haven't even got to the yellow, and I don't like the yellow. Like, that's just not my jam. So I want to see it in more traditional Thanksgiving colors, and these colors aren't going to work with anything that I have Thanksgiving. Craft Prison until that gets finished. Then, and I don't know where my other Craft Prison project is because my X stitch is on my phone, and so I can't look, but it's my Jane Austen piece, and she also has color issues. Sorry, I was looking to see if I could find her. Oh, I lied. I can't find her, but I do have another Craft Prison one. It's in this bag, which if you watched some of my videos from the beginning, and I just had these out the other day because I have 4 of them. This is one. So they were these gigantic, not giant, but like a tote bag that's black canvas, and on the front it said porn, not totes, meaning, you know, porn's not totally not good type deal. And anyway, I thought I got them when I very first got back into cross stitching, and because they were like $1 for a black tote bag, and I thought that would be fun, and I could just do something and cover it up. And my mom did. She put this vinyl front pocket and sewed some fabric over it so it covered it, but I don't like the way the duck feels. So I don't know if I'm going to turn the rest of those into bags or not, but the project currently living in that bag is out of this book, Expressions of Love. And what I like the pattern, there's actually several in this book I love. Like, I like this one. I just think the colors need to be updated. And this one, I don't know why, this just reminds me of my boys. Again, I would just, like, I think that done in overdyes would be fun with the little skiing boys in the front. Anyway, I liked this little sampler. It's called Expressions of Love. It's got a lot of backstitch on it. Like, the whole border is nothing but backstitch, which I like because it makes it look lacy. And I think if you left off some of the other backstitching and changed out some of the colors, I think it would be very cute. Anyway, that one, and I started it on this piece of fabric. I'm looking for my little white pattern to put back here. I started it on this piece of chocolate raspberry, which I like, and I knew it was going to be close when I was stitching it. Like, I knew when I started. So here it is, and yes, I realize I'm holding it sideways, but here's the little, like, it's like black work, just not done in black thread, and it's on just a very tiny piece of chocolate raspberry. and I got the alphabet in. But the problem, like I didn't have a problem with the tight border because I was going to sew fabric on it, but as I kept going across, this just kept getting smaller and smaller. And so I don't know that there's anything I can, because like this is literally, I think this is the end, but that is so incredibly close. I don't even know that if I stitched an additional piece of fabric on this that I could make this work. So it's in craft prison. In fact, I'm about to the point where I'm just going to pick it out or start over on a different piece of fabric. Pick it out and start over on a different piece of fabric. So that is that craft prison project. So there is one more. It's the Jane Austen something by Modern Folk Embroidery, which when I come across it, I will show it to you. Maybe it's in here, because I remember it's in a bag that I don't particularly care for. Yep, here it is. And I have a lot done. But I do not like the colors. I started this at the beginning of 2020 when everybody was having problems with, you know, finding supplies, and I couldn't decide, and I knew I wanted to do it in different colors. I like my gray. Like, I like my gray a lot. I would like to see this green, not so, I would like to see it variegated, and I need to tone this down and this down. It was when I was going through this huge stitch everything in raspberry. I don't know why. Anyway, but yeah, I have a lot done. I mean, that's a lot to pick out. The green, the pink, and the blue. Or maybe I'll leave the pink and just pick out the pink, the green, and the blue. I don't know. Anyway, it's still going to be a lot of stitch, a lot of unpicking. So those are my 4 craft prison projects that are now on the floor, which is where everything is right now. I just showed you this in the last video, but if you did not happen to see that one and you're just seeing WIP projects, this is Tiny Modernista. It is a unicorn sampler, the unicorn sampler. Let's see, there it is. Tiny, no, it's up there someplace. Okay, so here this is. It is stitched on 28 count Mediterranean seat in here. I could not find it at the time, so I stitched it on Riviera, which also 28 count. Here's where I'm at. And I also have the flag is done. I guess I could take it out since we're like doing the whole little thing. So Tiny Modernista, I love the pattern. I don't know why I like the pattern. I like unicorns. I always have. Even as a teenager, I liked unicorns. My Q-snaps are so tight. Or I have very weak old lady arms. Probably a combination of both. Because when I was cutting the roses back, my arms the next day were, my triceps were a little on the sore side. Because apparently, you know, sitting all winter, they have atrophied. So I might have to do, I will have to exercise so that I can get my stitching off my Q-snap. Isn't that kind of funny? Anyway, here it is, out of the Q-snap. I probably shouldn't leave it in the Q-snap if it's going to go back in the bag. Anyway, I darkened up the, wow, they look really orangey there, but they're not that. They're very red. That's closer. I'd say I darkened up all the oranges. I made like whatever the darkest orange was, I made that red, and then made the darkest orange my quote-unquote light red. Like, I just darkened it all up because I'm not a huge orange girl generally. Anyway, recently, like, this was my thing in February, and so it got some love. So it got this done, and I did some of this, and I'd stitched like a good chunk of this unicorn on it, and then like I don't know why, but I'd started stitching over here, and then when I got over here, it's like it was in the wrong spot, and it didn't meet up, and all the things. It made me crazy. And it was a good thing that my WIP was done for the month, because it was about ready to go into craft prison after I picked it all out and restitched the leg. So that you've already seen. This is, let's see if we can do it without tons of glare. So this is the Philanthropic Pumpkin by Hands On Design. those crinkles. There you go. There. Philanthropic pumpkin. Oh goodness gracious, words today. By Hands On Design. I stitched this pumpkin. It is right here. Whoops, my little pins are all scatty-womper. Let me turn them around so they can be all cuteness. Huh, and apparently they're backwards because it says 13. Okay, now I'm just confused. Why do I have an S and a T and a 31? 31st, oh, 31st, duh. There you go, 31st. Whoops. 31st. So I did stitch this, and the only change I made on this was I used my pumpkin chenille that I showed y'all, that I love so much. And then I was going to do it for a small for Stitch West last year. And so I started stitching on it, and then I decided I liked it so much I was going to just stitch it for me. And I didn't finish it. So yes, I mean, I did stitch that for me, but that, look at the size of this. Sorry, my little stem apparently needs to have some help. Anyway, look at the size of this compared to this. So I stitched this over one on 28 count. It's going to be about 3 inches when I get done. Yeah, so that's project number 1 here. Let's make sure all the little bits and pieces go back in there, because I am infamous for not putting things back where they need to go. So that is 4. That would be 5. That was my calendar. This is, I showed this. This is not a cross stitch. It's an embroidery pattern that's in my projects, in my stitching things. So this is the Halloween ABCs by Sandra Workman, Pine Mountain Designs. And I started this, and I'm changing some of the colors. Instead of being, you know, mostly gray and black, it's going to be all that funness. This is the little Threadworks variegated thread. Some other bright colors. I've got some beads. Yeah. There's not a lot prim about me. This is where I'm at, as I recently showed. Sorry for the strings, but, you know, work in progress. So I have the A and the B done. I got the C and the D almost completed. Before I started going, oh, you know what? On all these little places where it has French knots, which I do a decent French knot. I don't have a problem. But sparkly beads. Can you say sparkly beads? Sparkly beads in color? Ooh. Tickles my fancy. So I think that's number 6. Then I'm just going by the ones I have sitting here. This is the current modern folk embroidery stitch along that he had, Reaching Skyward, done on a piece of not showing up properly aqua. Yeah, no, it just gets worse. There's just a lot of light with that window. That's closer, but it's held the wrong way. Anyway, Reaching Skyward, I started that last month because I had been kind of waffling back and forth. I bought the pattern back in December or January when it came out, and I'm stitching it with these 2 shades of blue, a 597 and a 38 something, 3808, which are very pretty. But I hadn't decided, and then I decided to. So 7, I think. Doesn't really matter. This one is not going to be a WIP for very long. I'm going to take this with me this weekend to the Southern Utah retreat. It's Judge Not by Paulette Stewart. It doesn't look, it looks like hers because it is her pattern, so it is her design. But I totally changed the colors out because I did not want to stitch any more brown, black, gray. I had the words in the sheep, and then in this last in February and March. Yeah, this was February's WIP Go, and so I stitched like all the borders of the sheep, the little outlines, and then just started stitching the insides, and in March I just kept going because I keep telling myself I'm so close to being done. But I forget that each one of these sheets takes like 5 or 6 hours to stitch. Like it takes me a while. It takes a good 5 hours. But I am down to just the white here. See, I've got this little tiny corner right there done. So I need to do the white background here, and I need to do the sheep here, and then this will be done. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So that makes me very excited. It's going with me to go to St. George this weekend because I'm pretty sure I can finish those 2 sheep. Then in here, oh, I'm taking this to St. George. This is my Luck of the Irish by Primrose Cottage. Lindsay Wright. It's part of a bigger piece. I'm stitching the background because I stitched all the other little pieces. They're over here still. I just showed you all these. Like they're all bits and pieces of a bigger thing. And then I stitched this on 16 count thinking that I could, like that it would be fine. And I love Aida when it's dyed. For some reason, when it's just straight Aida, the holes on this bothered me. And so I am being insane and stitching ecru in the back of all of that craziness. Because I had nothing else to do. So that's going with me because hopefully I can put some stitches on that. When I just need some like brainless background fill-in type stitching. And then in this cute little project bag, these little pins, anything Christmas pin that you see, this is something my parents gave me because every year my parents gave us, my sisters and I, Christmas pins. And so I've pinned them on a lot of things. This is something I started in January of this year when I was doing hospital stitching with my husband being gone, and not gone, but in the, he had surgery and then we were in the emergency room a lot. It's Bristol Berries to Erica Michaels because I wanted to stitch something red. I chose this red by Classic Colorworks. It's just ribbon red. And here is my progress. Right there. Because I'm thinking I need some little red strawberries hanging out behind me. That would be so fun. And maybe I'll take that to St. George. I think we're like 8-ish projects. Then I have this, which is in my Tula Pink bag. It is Watermelon Tourmaline. I can't tell which way to look to see. Make sure it's in there. Watermelon Tourmaline by Carolyn Manning Designs. I love the pink and greenness of this because pink is my jam. It is my morning stitch. I started this in 2021, October 30th. I was going to stitch it for 30 minutes every day. That has not happened at all. And I'm stitching it 1/1 on a piece of white Lugana. Sorry, I'm trying to get it out of my hoop because I have it in a tension hoop. This little pink tension hoop. Because I can just stitch it in hand. 30 minutes doesn't take me too long. I can finish a couple of these squares. And this is where I'm at. And I did good for a while. Like 2021 I started up here. Anyway, last summer I did good and did a good chunk of this. And so now I think I don't know, maybe it's a spring summer thing. And so I'm going to go back and start working on that for 30 minutes each day. Just put a little time into it. Like I'm in no rush. It's 1/1. It's not going to be very big. I think total it's going to be 6 by 6 inches. So it's a little stitch. I mean, it's not a little stitch. It is a lot of stitches. A lot of stitches. And it's in gorgeous colors. Let's see if I can... I know the bags aren't super attractive, but you know what? They work for me. Anyway, there's all the pinks. And I put a card in them. So it has the number on both sides and the floss. I hate looking for a color, especially when there's a lot of colors. So those are the Watermelon Tourmaline. That's my progress. I know that was super quick. It's going back in my bag. Bag. Everybody's teasing me about my words. My mom made me this bag. It has a place to hang my scissors. And it has a little I don't know if I can do this very well, eyeglass case that has my little skinny eyeglasses and my marker in it. And it also has a, you won't be able to see it, but it's got a pocket in it that has needles and whatever. Anyway, that's my bag that my mom made me out of some Tula Pink. I love the top. It has a fuzzy on it. Then is this a Wonder Woman fabric from when I was in high school. That's how old that fabric is. I was probably newly married when it came out. Anyway, it has the vintage Wonder Woman on it, and I love it. Love it, love it. It is, yeah. I have this, and she also made me, I think it's out of the new fabric, Wonder Woman. It's got my crochet hooks in it. Anyway, it's got a pocket for my glasses, which are, I think they're red because, you know, coordinate. There you go, red glasses. And then it has a pair of scissors. This one doesn't have a pocket, but she did make me, it's not out of the old fabric, it's out of new Wonder Woman fabric. Wonder Woman needle bookcase to hold my scissors. And why do I have two scissors in here? I can take that other scissors off. Anyway, to put my needles and threads on. Oh, and it doesn't have a project in it. It'll have to sit over here. I don't know why it doesn't have a project in it. Then, in this bag that I made with Vonna Pfeiffer's pattern. I love batik fabric. Oh, this isn't even a WIP. Thank goodness. But I will show you what's in the fun bag. It's the Pink Edwardian House by Nora Corbett with all of the accoutrement, the fabric and the beads. But I can't start it because I was silly. I was totally silly and I started something else. I started on a whim with my girlfriend, but it really was a whim. Like, she was looking for something to stitch, and I know this is going to sound silly, but she's stuck in Hawaii helping a family, her daughter, and she did not have, like, she had stuff with her, but she was tired of stitching on it. So in this bag, this is a bag my mom made me. It has daffodils. It has the little Narcissus fairy on the front. It has this lovely batiki fabric up here, and then look at this fun little fairy that we found at Hobby Lobby with her little dangly dancy legs. She's just so cute. And we love the bling at our house. We love it. Love it, love it. Anyway, same type of a deal with my bag. It has a pocket and eyeglass case and scissor holder. And then, I know that this isn't what you're seeing, we're looking at projects, but she made me this little violet case for all of my threads, which look very messy because right now I've got, like, I put, like, if this is my bobbin for this color, then I have a needle with the thread once I use it. It's just stuck through, which is why that looks so messy, because it's in there. Anyway, so that's in there. And the project that she and I started, and I let her pick it, it was one of the fairies I had, but it's the Nora Corbett Pansy. And so there's Nora Corbett, and of course she's almost done because she's in Hawaii, and while the little kids are in school during the day, because she's not at her house, she's just in her daughter's place, she stitches. So she is done. I think she's down to, she just has to, like, finish the arms on it. I, on the other hand, am not done. This is where she's at. So I have the flower on top, and I have her head done. And I think I'm in the process of putting the last of those little purple beads on and working on her face and her shoulders, which are 1/1. So that is where she is at. She is done on 32 count opalescent because I love the sparkle of it all. I love the, oh yeah, I love it. Sparkly, 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 beads, 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 Krynic, you know, sparkly thread. I like all that silliness. And I might not be able to get her in there. I don't usually keep her on her Q-snaps, but I was working on her the other day. And then all of her little stuff is in a bag that does not match, but I got it at Christmas time from a friend, from Jenny Cricklewood Creek. Had made these for us. And so that's got all of my extra foofy lala for that pattern. Then in this bag, oh, is nothing, because I just finished this. I've made, this had this in it. So it's technically, I have a box that has nothing but spring colored threads in it. Just all the spring threads, and then this has some like over DMC variegated threads that I might use for what, because I was going to stitch Easter eggs, and instead I stitched Happy Easter or Hello Spring for Emily. But I like it, so I keep my, sorry, I'm trying to get it back in there, my box and my spring projects in this bag. And it's going to be a project because I want to do one for me. The other thing, oh, and I did not bring her in here, is I'm working on Sleeping Princess by, it's a Mirabilia. It's in this fun flamingo bag. It has a fun checkered on the inside with all of the beads and the 9 billion flosses and all of that stuff. And hang on, because sorry, she was in by my stitching chair where I generally work on her, because that's where my stand is. So there is Sleeping Princess by Mirabilia. When I very first started watching Flosstube back in 2019, Brenda Handwork Maniac was working on her. And when I saw her, I had to have her. And so I over dyed some fabric, just a titch of pink, which you probably won't even see, it's so light. And then here she is. I have finished the canopy and the chandelier, and I have finished her, although I think there's something wonky with her eye. I think I have it in the wrong direction. Her pillow is done, and now I'm starting down into the beginning of the mattresses right here and working towards getting her feet in over here. So she's had some love in the last couple of months. This would have been fall love before the headache that was tendinitis. That is tendinitis. I'm trying to be better at keeping it at a dull roar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. Like 13. I have a few projects. So that was Sleeping Princess. 32 count. I'm not changing anything in her. I don't even want to change anything in her. I like her the way she is. My next one is in this project bag that Jordy made. Jordy Orlandi. And I got the little couture bag because I like carrying all the extra stuff in it. This has got my glasses and some scissors and a tiny hoop in case I decide to take it out of the Q-snap. There's a box of flosses. And the pattern, sorry, is from, we decided to stitch this at Stitch West. There's a bunch of us stitching it. Anybody can stitch it. Handwork Maniac. Nope. Yep. Nope. Sorry. Colleen, Highway Stitcher, has on her Instagram, has the chart divided into pieces so that we can get it done by next Stitch West. And so it's by the Drawn Thread. It's the Sunnyside Sampler, which is very fun with all the little houses and flowers and trees. It's got a couple specialty stitches, but they're super easy. They're on these little tiny flowers that are down here in the alphabet, that are down here in the alphabet. And they're just Algerian eyelets. Way easy. Anyway, I am behind because I have not picked, I did pick it up 2 days, not at Stitch West. So And I'm not apparently not following the thing because I decided to, that's not that. So I stitched the house. I stitched part 1, which was this part right here at Stitch West. And then I started this like the next month. And then since then, all I have done, because I had the alphabet done over to D, I stitched the alphabet. So I need to get hot and heavy in that because right now I should have everything done over to here. And I haven't. And I keep saying, I should take this with me. But my piles get pretty big. 14, I think. Then I have this one that I have not touched in ages, and it was just too bad because my friend from Stitch Group finished this, and it is beautiful, and she has it framed, and oh, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. It is Teresa Kogut's A Land That I Love. Isn't that fun? It's beautiful. Have I worked on it? Nope, not since the very first time I worked on it. Here's my colors. They're in my little bobbin box. I guess I could open them up and show you how beautiful they are. They are pretty colors. So there's the colors. It's in my little cherry bag that I made. Donna Pfeiffer's pattern. Here it is on 40 count natural. This is all I have done. And on the chart, I think it's the 218 blue cornflower. Anyway, the DMC color that was listed was not, it was a blingin' like clown blue. Anyway, I changed it to a blue that coordinates with the other blue, the dark blue. So that's all that's done on that. Literally, oh, I take it back. There's a smidge past the fold. But that's it. And I should finish it because it's beautiful. 1/1. Nope. Oh, please tell me I did not do that 1/1. That would make me cry. I'm pretty sure it's 1/2. But let me just double check. Yes, 1/2 on 40 count. Every once in a while I do go off the deep end and decide to do craziness, and I don't want to do that 1/1. 1/2 is fine and dandy for me. And then in the lovely poinsettia bag with the blingy chevrons, oh, are my Jim Shore snowmans, which I only have one in here because I decided it was ridiculous to carry them all around. Anyway, I put the little beads there. It's a Mill Hill kit. Jim Shore Santas. I think there's 8 of them. This is the Santa with Cocoa. And I like snowmen. They're on perforated paper. And here is, I keep moving that silly paper that I had. It doesn't matter. Here he is done. And you think if he's done, then why is he still in there? Well, because he's not done. Like I didn't have my X-Acto knife to snip out these little bits right there. And I'm just going to back him. Don't look at my back. Don't be judgy. It's not very neat, but you know what? It's going to have felt on the back. And I'm going to I put all of the little threads that came with the kit in here. They're in here. I bobbinated them and put scissors in. And then when I do the other ones, I'm going to put them in there. And the reason he's still in my project bag as an ongoing project is because this little snowman guy, there was enough paper and enough floss to turn it around. To turn it around and do another snowman right here on what was left of that paper. So that's why that is still in that project bag. And even after I get them done, the 2 of these done, I'm just going to add one of the other snowmen because I think I have 7 of the 8. So that way I can just keep them all together in the fun little bag. Then this is not in a bag because this has also been, this is one I'm really debating. So this is my Modern Folk Embroidery stitch from the first year that I started stitching. I think this is 2020. It's on a piece of alabaster, and I liked the colors when I started it, but it's not that I don't like the colors, I just really don't have a place where it's gonna work to hang up. But I have so much of it done, I just really hate the thought of starting in a different color. So I will probably just continue on and I'll figure out something to do with it. Anyway, this is where it stands. It's done in some navy blue and some forest green, evergreen, and some gold and some red. The only thing I remember is that my red is like 815. Anyway, I need to finish it. I got the reason where I stopped or started to get hung up was here when I started adding this brown. Because the next part I needed to stitch where I stopped was right here in the center is that giant tree. I don't have a picture of this. I think this is on my phone is why I don't have a picture of this. Anyway, there's a giant tree right here. And so I was trying to decide if I was going to do the branches on the tree trunk brown and the leaves green. Was I going to do the whole tree green? Was I just, and then like I said, when I went back to it, I wasn't sure I was going to keep the colors. Yeah. Anyway. Craft prison? Kinda. Then here is a big quilty bag that I made with Mona Pfeiffer's pattern. Oh, this is not also cross stitch. This is just in my stitching. But this is a Geranium Beauty by Unique Creations. It is a wool piece someone gave me because they were never going to finish it, and I thought, oh, I'm going to knock that right out. And then I haven't. Here's where it is. Wow, is that red? Okay, in real life, those giant red geraniums that you're seeing are burgundy in my world. They are not that red, and that is not, those greens are not that green. Everything is definitely more muted. I don't know why it's being so blingy colored. Nope, getting closer doesn't make that better. Nope, oh well. Just accept that this is not that bright. All of those geraniums are very, very, very burgundy. There isn't anything red about them, so the fact that they're showing up that red is amazing. Anyway. Yep, there it is with a woven basket. Fun, fun. And see, I take all these things out and it's like, oh, let's go in the living room and sit down and finish those right now. Amazon is coming to my house. Maybe she's coming to somebody else's house. Then in this lovely, lovely bag that I made myself is something that also got started at Stitch West a couple years ago. It is the Autumn Lane Stitchery, the Autumn Town. I think almost everybody that was stitching it with me is done or close to done. I am not. I am not at all. Ugh. I like the idea of it. I just have not been motivated to stitch on it. There's where I'm at. Oh, it's very fun. There's my little fun needle minder I made. Oh, there's my scissors. I was looking for those the other day. Anyway, that's an owl. Anyway, that's where I'm at. It would be fun if I could make some progress on that. It is on my WIP Go board. I don't know when it's going to get called. I have other things that are apparently higher priority. This is Glitter Village. Oh, it's really rolled up in Q-snaps. Let me pop it out. It's been in here a while. I did work on this a little bit last fall, but not tons. So it's been a while. I had high hopes the first year I started this to do a house a month. That's not the way that's worked out, to say the least. So we will see if I can get, yep, get it out of the Q-snaps and find all the little pins because it's on a giant piece of fabric. And so here it, oops, look at all the needle minders off of it. Sorry about that. Here you go. Oh, it's very wrinkly because, like I said, it's been in a bag for quite a while. So there's the top 3 houses at the border. That's where I keep getting slowed down. I don't want to stitch border. I just want to stitch house. And so this is where I left off last fall. I think that's the last time I stitched on it, was last fall, and then tendonitis. So it hasn't been touched. And the pattern looks like, do I have it in here? I had them in here. They're all in here. They come in these little tiny squares, and I just have all of them in one bag. These are the next 3 that I will be doing. So there's those. Here is a bag my mother made me. It has inside of this loveliness, oh, the pattern and not the chart. The chart is literally, or the pattern. I can't show you yeah, I won't be showing you this one because it is buried. Early Christmas morning, and I have the house done and part of this. And that's it. Sorry about that. But I'm unwilling to, because I've been balancing project bags there to go to St. George. At least that's, I think I'm taking all those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not taking 7. I might take 3. But they're sitting over there. And this is not a project. That is I would love to start this. This is Moonlight Sampler by the Blue Flower. I love this because when I got it, this reminds me of my daughter and her dog. The dog looks almost similar. She's got a yellow, not a yellow, it is a yellow dog, a golden lab. And then I will change her hair color from orange to my daughter's hair color. And I have very little done on this. It was very much an impulse start one day. Like I impulse bought it and then I impulse started it. I started it on a 40 count, I think it's Nocturne. And I literally just have this much done. In fact, I have to look at it to tell you what it is. There. I just have the corner. So someday it will get done and hang on my wall. And then when I die, she can have it. But not until then. Because I like to look at it. Right now I just like to look at the picture. This is something I started in 2019. It is a Dimensions kit. It is on Ada that came with the kit. It is the Winter Cardinals. I also have very little of this started, which is so funny because I take all these out and it's like, oh, I love this one. Why didn't I just keep stitching on it? Anyway, on this, it's done on the blue that came with it, and it's just the snow on the branch. That's where I'm at. Right up there. So all my colors are all sorted out into their little bags. They're just in there waiting for me to get motivated to do that. This is my bicycles sunflower bag that I'm showing you just because I like it. Those bicycles were so fun. Anyways, a little fat quarter bundle that I bought at Walmart. And inside the sunflower bag is Miss Sunflower by Stitchy Princess. I got it off of Etsy. I bought this when Russia attacked the Ukraine. Anyway, there's the cute little pattern. Oh, just in case you want to go look at her. Stitchy Princess, there you go. On Etsy. And Stitchy Princess Black on Instagram. And then, this is where I'm at. I have the bodice of her dress and her braid. Stitching it 1/1 on 32 count. Linen. Oh, sorry. Sorry to be gone so long, but these last ones are out of my reach. This I don't think has anything in it. Nope. Nope. Well, it's nice to know I have empty bags. Nope. Nope. Oh. I'll do these two last because thank goodness these are not things I have started. 3. I did these 3. So one of my last projects to show you, it looks like I have 2 left. Maybe just 1. Oh, maybe I'm down to 1. Anyway, that's enough because 24 is a lot of projects. Yep, because these last 3 are things that as something else gets finished, I would like to start it. But I might do 2 or 3 things have to get finished before I start something because I don't like having 24 projects. So this is my infamous stocking that I started in, I think 2019, maybe 2020. It was definitely a like COVID-ish thing. I am not stitching it like the pattern. Let's see, I'll show you what I'm doing. So it is from, sorry, I have an itchy nose after all this fabric flying. Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. It's the July-August 1989 stocking, and it's the stitching room or the sewing room, and it has this lovely blue cabinet with the dolls and a stitching frame and a checkered cat and a hoop and a basket of balls of yarn. It has random blocks throughout it. It has this sheep. There is a blue, I don't think you can really see it because the sticker was over this right here. And when I took it off, it kind of damaged the picture. But right here, there's a little blue box full of like fabric with floss hanging out of it. Then the sewing machine and cabinet with a quilt behind it. And then these pictures. And then this is the top that you could stitch, or it had an alternative top. And I stitched the alternative top. And then I decided, and this was the first thing of my craziness when I started changing things. Anything that's been changed since all came after this. And it's my girlfriend's fault. Because when she stitched these stockings, she customized them to each of her kids. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought, oh, that won't be any big deal. I'll just customize this to me. So I don't like the country blue cabinet, and so I changed that to red. But I started on this side, so let's just start over here. I didn't want the pictures, and I didn't want the quilt. And so I took a big window that was on one of the other, I think it was on the little girl's room. I don't think I have a picture of that. It was on the little girl's room stocking, and so I took the window off of there. I was looking to see if I have a picture of that stocking. Yep, I do. My girlfriend sent it to me. So I took this window out of that stocking, and I moved it over here into this stocking where this quilt was, behind the sewing machine, because at the time, My sewing machine sat next to a window that doesn't not nearly as cute as that window, but it's pretty dang cute. And I have this little featherweight. In fact, it's sitting right here next to me, just not over there by the window anymore. Anyway, I digress. I put in this window, that window, over here. And then on top of the window, instead of putting in this nativity, I just built a garland. What else did I change on this side? I think that's, oh, I put the wreath in the middle of the window. And I changed the rug from blue and pink to red and black because I had a red and black braided rug. And then I have stitched across here, and I'm now like working right in here, which I will show you right now. I'm doing it on Q-snaps. Let me take my very beaten up cut and paste pattern off. Oh, and I really shouldn't stitch this in Q-snaps. I don't know why I must be really weak because all my Q-snaps are super hard to get off. I mean, I'm thankful that they hold my fabric taut, but you'll just have to forgive all the random needle minders because I'm not pulling them off. So here is the stocking top that I did, the alternative one. I still have to put my little beads on my pin heads here and here. Here is the window that I put in with the garland on top. I moved the wreath, like I said, from the corner of the quilt into the center of the window. There is my sewing machine. There is the little box of floss. There is the floor. I'm done with the cat. I'm over here working on this hoop. I've already started to change the color of the cabinet from the blue to the red that I already chose, and I changed the background color wallpaper. So there you go. That's where I'm at. I'm working on this little stitchy thing right here, and then I need to finish filling in this, and then it will be literally going up that side and doing the cabinet. And why I've taken so long, I don't know. Mostly because I got tired of making decisions, I think, and yeah, as I would go along. You know, change the rug. I didn't change this, thank goodness. I just finally gave up. It's just like, here's the little basket of yarn as it was. I think I've changed the heart here red instead of being pink. I changed the bow on the cat. I think I changed this floss from pink to red. I like red. I like pink too, but I don't like that dusty pink. Anyway, so once I get this and this done, then I'm working on this stand, and then I will go straight up and do the cabinet. My goal for this is the, I guess the second goal, because my first goal was to use my calendar, is to finish this year. I would like to use my stocking at Christmas time, and I would love it if my husband, because it's not a very big stocking, it's a little stocking, would fill it with treats. You know, floss, needles, gift cards to stitch stores, not gift cards to clothes stores, and not jewelry. I love jewelry, but I got a lot of jewelry. Anyway, that's my cute little stocking that I'm working on with all my cut and paste little patterns. And it's in my little gingerbread bag that I made back when I started my stocking with the Vanna Pfeiffer pattern. And I think that is the end of my projects, which is a good thing. Whoops, that was the threads that go in that bag. Then the next things that are on my immediate radar, besides everything that's on my calendar, which is all, I bought this pattern back when I started my stocking, so in 2019. It's a roses pattern. I know that the black and white picture does not help, but it's all done in pink roses, you know, pink colors. And I have all the, not neatly, all the DMC pinks and greens, the gridded 25 count fabric, nope, 18 count. That surprises me. And there in this bag that I got, I won from Kindred Stitcher, Lisa Smith. So that's in there. Then the other thing that's on my radar is this, which is in one of Jenny Cricklewood Crossings bags. So I have to take the fabric out because isn't it cute? A little Santa. Oops, sorry. It still has a business card in the bottom. A little Merry Christmas Santa bag with a little Santa doodad. And inside of this bag, I got this last year. Nope, it must have been 2021 Christmas. I just loved it. Dasher and Dancer. I want to stitch it bad, but I just can't start one more thing. Anyway, I think it's on Heritage. Herald. Something green. I remember it was one of those two. Anyway, with DMC 115 floss. This is a very green. It's not showing up very green, but it's pretty dang green. Yeah. Green fabric. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. So that lives in that bag. If it makes it to a project bag, then it's pretty high up on the list of things to be started. And why I have all those empty project bags, because I am never going to have that many projects. Of course, that's what I said long before I had 30-some bags. I got this little fun bag from Becky. I don't remember her business name. She was at the Crazy Woman Stitch Retreat. Oops, sorry, it's got a piece of, anyway, this fun little bag. Anyway, I have all of my hometown holiday patterns in here that I'm going to stitch with my girlfriend. I think we're both stitching them a different way. I'm going to stitch mine 1/1 on this 25 count smoky white. But I just can't start it. I don't want to start it until I get Pansy done, and I know I'm so far behind her. She's already started hers. I wonder what box this came out of that has pink and green in it, no other colors. I don't know. Anyway, then in this bag, and only because I'm excited about pumpkin people, I don't know why. So I have this fun little needle minder that Kiara gave me. That's a Disney one. She got it at something called Lunchbox, maybe. Anyway, I love it. And then inside of it are these patterns that I got last year at Stitch West. So I got, and this was off of the, like the exchange table. It's a Not Forgotten Farm Matilda Hornbuckle. And I thought it would be fun on this sparkly copper fabric, but I'm afraid that I might have to change the color of her dress if I do that. Because, yeah, I think it's the same color. But then I also have these Teresa Kogut patterns that I got. Pumpkinhead. Nope. Girlfriends. I call them Pumpkinhead people. And I don't know why I like them. I just do. I'm having a Pumpkinhead year. I also got Teresa's Creeping Jack and Krabby and Cookie. And Fabulous Monsters, Groovy Gary and Frightened Fred. And I love them. I love them all. For someone who's not a gigantic Halloween person, I'm really into the Pumpkinhead people, you think? Yeah. And not only that, this little Pumpkinhead girl. Someplace in my pile of projects here, I have a Pumpkinhead doll pattern. Oh, she's so cute. Prims by Denise. I'll be stitching her up. She's going to be living back here for a while. Anyway, they're all in this bag to be started after a few things get done. Anyway, that is all my WIPs. I'm sorry, it's discombobulated and kind of craziness. But yeah, that's it. I know I need to quit looking around, because I look around, I see other things I want to start, like these. I got these. Hands-on Design, the spring. I had this one, the fall from last year. I had summer last year. I got spring just recently. I took them out of a project bag because this is just silliness. Anyway, that's all my WIPs. I hope to get some of these things done this year, and I hope that you will join me off and on throughout the year to see how things are moving along. I'm hoping to get some of these things fully finished into their frames so that you can see me just get something done. Wouldn't that be fun? And I would like to get them hung up on my wall, because I'm just, even if it's not seasonal, I'm hanging all of my stitching on my wall in my bedroom just because it makes me so happy to see it. And then in this little area right here, I'm just going to do like sewy stitchy things. Like, does that make sense? Like sewing room stitching. Sorry, I keep looking this direction because I have this little stack of patterns over here, and I know that one of them was, oh wait, is this Jacob? Oh, I think this is Jacob. Nope, sorry, it's Jacob, but it's not the one I was looking. Anyway, this little sewing pattern. Like, I want to do like sewing machine, pin cushiony, tomatoey, stitchy funness for this little space to put on what little, because that has a window, this has bookcases, and then this has a door in front, straight in front of me, and then this is a pretend wall. It's the back of the hutch. That's my design wall. So I really don't have like a lot of stitchy place to put things, but with the stitchy room I have, I want to put in like sewing things, sewing related stitching things. So that will be fun. Yep. And so those are my plans and projects. Actually, those are my projects. My plan is to get some of them done and to fully finish these on the back wall and to do my quilt blocks that are hanging up there with Emily and my mom and Amanda. And that's my big crafty plans for the year, which we all know that it's not going to just stay that way, but that's the general outline of things. So I'm going to finally end and hopefully get these up in the next couple days, because I have the catch up one before, and then this one right here, which is all of the projects I have going on, all of the stitchy projects I have going on. And I will see you later. The goal, my intent is to do this monthly, which for April means in just a couple weeks, monthly. So I will see you at the end of April. And I hope you have lots of stitching time. The weather's warming up, and so I know that my stitching time will go down as the weather warms up, because I want to be outside in the garden and doing outside kinds of things. But I will try to stay on top of my stitching things also. And I will see you in a while. This month, or this weekend, we're going to be gone to the stitching retreat. I'm very excited. I'm glad that it's close to home. Stitch West and in Southern Utah. If Southern Utah continues, those will probably be my two. Driving, I love Crazy Woman. I had so much fun meeting the people, but 7 hours is a long drive for me. With my fibromyalgia, it just kind of does me in, and then there's just a lot of not feeling fabulous after I get there and when I get back. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But those are the 3 things that we're doing this year, are those 3 retreats: Stitch West, Crazy Woman, and Southern Utah, that I want to rename into some fun name. I still think like Red Rock Stitching Retreat. I'm sure we could come with something fun. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Have fun stitching. Enjoy the gorgeous weather that appears to be coming. We've got in the high 70s right now, and then it's supposed to kick back down into the 50s, but isn't that just typically spring? And so yeah, just enjoy it. Just enjoy the days. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Howdy again. 2 in 1 week. It'll depend on how long it takes to edit. But because the last one was so long, because it was a lot of catch up, I think I covered all the things that really matter, you know, the stitching. And so if you happen to see that one and you've seen some of these things, if you didn't see that one, you can go back and look, but I'm going to show you them again quickly, except for I did not grab my, no, hang on a minute.